Alright. So, I recently finished publishing all of the vlog adventures on YouTube. What's made abundantly clear is that I need some better form of holding onto my stuff. I needed an upgrade from just this bag holding everything, and it was also clear that battery life was a huge issue. The GoPro I'm using currently is the Hero 4, so it is in itself a pretty old product. But nonetheless, I don't really like to buy things when I don't have to, when I can make do with what we have. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to design something to hold all of this together and hopefully create a portable bank for the GoPro. The idea is this: I got a battery bank thinking I was going to need it for my phone, but I got a new phone. I don't really need a battery bank for anything. What I do need battery for are these things. Put 2 and 2 together and create a case that can hold my battery bank, that can connect it to this GoPro battery charger and make a portable battery charger. I do want this other part to be used as well, because battery bank has 2, so. So I'll have this here, and then I'll probably have the memory cards here, and I'll have a few slots for them. Basically, kind of like here. Like this. Hold everything in place. Alright, everything seems to be in order, so let's get this started. We're going to start a new project here in Fusion 360. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a box here, and the measurement I used was 10 millimeters and 10 millimeters. We're going to do that. I like to make a cube first. Let's give this a go. Alright, now when I took the picture over here, I did have the ruler inside the picture because now we can scale it appropriately until it matches the scale we want it to. And that's good. So this is basically what we want. We took a picture and now we can basically go ahead from here. And it's gone. I have this. So this part is really good. And this part is also really good. I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle. I have plans for this area. I like to make them like 4 centimeters, so let's just give it 41. That's a formless. Completely fine. Now 41, we also have to count for the back, which is going to be a 3 millimeter bump. That's completely fine on that side. And then that'll make it detachable, so in the future if I need to change it, it'll be easy to fix it in case my battery bank breaks. And also, more parts are always generally better for printing because it's a lot less liability. Basically that allows us to have this one fit on that side and here, which is not too problematic. And I'm gonna move this. I had these little dividers from the Mastercraft case that I had kind of gouged for work, make it more suitable for that one. And we have these, which I'm going to use because they hold the memory cards pretty well in place and they don't move very much. I had some time at work and I wanted to finish this part, so I added a whole bunch of stuff. First things first, the important stuff is that there is now a hinge over here. And I do have the screws that specifically fit here, which is 4.2 millimeters. And we have something that hasn't finished completely. I need to make this, do that. And then we need to actually do, and now it's done. So we added the hinges. I put 2 little holes here just so we can see the top here. The battery pack I have has a few light indicators for how much battery is left. This hole is going to allow me to see that. This part is for the charger or the battery. Actually, it might be better to just, let me just show you what we did on this side. Okay, since the last time we were off, we were around here and we needed to fix a lot of these things. So what I did was I added these things in. I made a hole here kind of similar to the mechanism over here to basically hold everything in place. And then I made that work. Combine it afterwards to make sure this works properly, just because that's the way Fusion 360 works. And then we brought it back and put in these little holes, so now we have another chip, aka this one, that can go in and make sure this doesn't move. Yep, next we just made the hinge and then the pattern to make the hinges all work. We brought the door here and added this little piece, so now this part closes completely and doesn't look a little awkward, so that's a very important step. Now this one is a pretty easy thing to do because I've made it so that this face is completely flat. That's good. 7 hours and 30 minutes. 92 minutes rather. I'll call this GoPro holder batteries. I'll call this one this one will be GoPro battery. Good morning, and let's take a look at this thing. I think this is an exact fit, but this part has been warped because the print wasn't that great. Which means this works out pretty well as well. I need to sand both of these parts down to make them fit into each other, but I think after that's done, this is going to be good. And the back would be a little uneven, but who cares at that point? I'll just probably stick some stickers on it. So this crashed the entire print because it's not coiled properly. And then this entire preset was lifted because it was stuck in there. Now the print is kind of messed up. I'm hoping it'll go over it and kind of make it look at least decent. And then we'll see what happens from there, but I'll probably have to sand this down hard. worth salvaging anymore. So this part of this board fits in really nicely. This part can come down pretty nicely as well. Just required a little bit of sanding, but everything works out pretty snug here. If I put the other two pieces in, I'm sure they'll be snug completely. This, however, was meant to go on the front here to close everything here. This is what it's supposed to look like. And it's not really going to get there, is it? Because the top here is kind of problematic. So this was slightly too ambitious, I think. Yeah, this is kind of rickety on its own. It's got tons of spikes in the middle. It's just not going to work out, is it? Yep, that's going to go that way. And this would meet up all the way this way. With just one thing here. And this will meet up one thing here. So the middle here is actually not used for anything at all. So I might cut this piece in half, around exactly where this edge is, and then bisect it that way. So I added some padding on the bottom here, and I used the door stoppers as a way to just kind of back up the end over here. So now that part's kind of fitting a lot better. There's a washi sticker here just to make this part look a little prettier. And now this works really well, because if I have a battery, but if I put it here, it will fit right there, and it's pretty snug. The door will also close on this properly and basically hold this all in place. You knew from the get-go that this was going to fit properly, because this was a proper dimensioning. That was really, really nice for this last part. So let's just get to do that. I think for the memory cards, it might be better to leave it this way, because this was the initial intention. Can be safely stored like this. Yep, that's not going anywhere. Battery packs are there, that's fine. Extra ones go over here, but the ones we want to actually charge, they go in here. Just the main design flaw here is that you do have to find the wire. That's just for that. And now we're gonna turn this on first. And I'm gonna bring this to attach that area. And now, these three are charging. This one is snug in there. It's not gonna go anywhere. And if this had work, it would all close off. You can see how much battery pack is in there, how much left is there. And over here, if you saw through it, that will tell you what color these lights are, which will tell you whether or not they're green or red. Okay, so I had some time at work and I finished some of the design changes. So we made this one cut in half basically. The cut area is right above this part, which for my previous design, you know, will be just around this part over here. So that's gonna sit over there, and this part now matches perfectly. This part is gonna be completely empty, but I did want it to attach here to just kind of stick around there and make sure nothing goes awry. So we are gonna build this thing. This is gonna be just a rod that kind of goes through there to keep things in place. They shouldn't touch any of the screws because I made it halfway through, and the screws should be only a few centimeters in here, so I think it should work out pretty okay. So without further ado, I'm gonna plug this guy in. Now we can do that, but first we need to load the filament. Looks like it's gonna be okay, and I'm just pulling it here. So I think this should be fine, but let me just double check that a little bit. You know, I do have this much space, so. As we got towards the end of the roll for the Duramec, It is now all perfectly aligned, like the Prusa was the entire way. The Prusa filament looks like it's still superior because it was like this all the way out to the back. But for this one, when I got it, it was all a scrambled mess. But after we get to the center, that is when it becomes all symmetrical and plain looking. Alright, it's done. The holes on here are much, much larger than the ones down here. This part is going to bug me just because, like I said, it's not a perfect fit, but it works well enough. Okay. This is the only thing that actually might fall out, and to be honest, even then, this probably isn't going to fall out too much. To access it, we just do this, and you have all of these. So the goal for this one is to basically have this in my backpack and not have the wire disconnected as it was sitting in my backpack, so it sits properly. And that's all I really need to do. So far, so good. I'm gonna clean things up and then we'll print the final one over there. Oh, that's not a good sign. That is a good sign. A piece of wood. That goes in quite nicely, actually. Problem I can see right now. It's good enough. Alright. That's basically it then. Everything's done. Let's put it all together. All right. Let me just do a once over on the part over there just because it looks a bit nicer. Six on the back, a little bit rough, but I think it'll be okay for what I need to do. guess that's it.